Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. The Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2952 is happening real soon, in about 72 hours at time of recording. There's a load of IAE and ship-based content coming from Cloud Imperium over the next couple of weeks. We're going to have new ship releases, ship updates, a load of cool stuff to do in the verse, a free fly so you can try Star Citizen for free. So we're going to check out what's coming up this week. There's a little tiny bit more hope for VR support as well, which we'll come to. For those of you looking for limited ships like an Idris or a Javelin, there's an expected sort of guide and schedule to what we can when we can expect those wave-based sails for that. And we've got a picture where it could be the Tumble Ranger is in view, but it might not be. We're going to take a closer look at that, and you can tell me what you think. So, this week in Star Citizen, kick the tyres, light the fires, and make your way over to Microtech. This year's Intergalactic Aerospace Expo starts Friday the 18th of November, 4 p.m. UTC. It's at the Microtech Tobin Convention Centre. Cloud Imperium have put out a traveller's guide to prepare you to visit New Babbage early, signposting the expo, which is easily accessible on the train there and clearly signposted. If you are jumping into Star Citizen for the first time, whatever, or you're trying to get ready for the IAE, make sure that you are sort of set your respawn point that you've to New Babbage at Microtech. You've gone Microtech. You're ready. They're waiting for the expo to start. So the Traveler's Guide also goes over things like where to get food and other things you can do around Microtech. Keep an eye on Spectrum for more announcements and FAQ contests and more as we get closer to the event's launch. And don't forget to invite your friends. The IAE kicks off a free fly that runs through the length of the expo, so the 18th to the 30th of November. So it's a perfect time to jump in. Now, what's going on throughout this week? Tuesday, the narrative team are going to be keeping the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo alive in spirit with a new lore post titled Clean Shot IAE Predictions. So, as you can probably suspect, they're going to be making a few predictions about what to expect from the expo. And obviously it's going to be a bit in lore, but yeah, we're expecting the Corsair to be flyable, but we're also expecting a new ship from Drake and some other new ships, like one from RSI and maybe some more things. The community team will be hosting an AMA as well and Ask Me Anything on the RSI or Star Citizen Twitter starting at 5 p.m. UTC to answer all your questions about this year's IAE event. So get involved with that if you are interested. Wednesday, we'll be getting the full free fly schedule with details on every day's list of ships that can be rented on the IAE show floor completely free. Thursday, Inside Star Citizen has a fully IAE themed episode with an in-depth look at this year's sponsor, Drake Interplanetary. So we might see some of the Corsair, maybe some of the other new Drake ship stuff. Plus, they'll be giving us an update on the long-awaited rework of Origins, Exploration and Touring Craft, the 600i. So a lot of people are very excited for the 600i getting its sort of updates. And we know that it's had quite a heavy change in the way that it looks. Internally, externally, it's pretty much the same. They also have an annual IAE FAQ ready to go. So that will detail a lot of things like when exactly the waves for ships are being sold for limited edition ships like the Idris and Javelin, things like that, but we'll come to a expected list of that in a second. Friday, the IAE starts with Drake's Reveals, a load of ships on sale, the Corsair Flyable. Also, Star Citizen Live kicks off that day one of the IAE with their annual all-ship special with the vehicle team. So they are going to be focusing on lots and lots of ship and vehicle updates there. So I think a lot of people will want to see the summary of that live stream. You can expect the show at 4 p.m. UTC on the Star Citizen Twitch, which coincidentally appears to be the same time that the Expo also starts. Me and Zin will be covering the IAE with multiple videos every day and some live streams and stuff like that. It's worth noting that before the Expo, we might have the 3.17.4 patch come out, even a PTU test of the Expo Hall and sort of the Corsair Flyable to try would be my expectation. So if that's the case, you'll see some coverage of the Corsair before it goes to the live build. But IAE starts on Friday, 4 p.m. Get involved. Over on Twitter, CIG Sylvan has responded to a question if he wants ideas for sort of better VR support once Vulcan's in. And he responded, yes, absolutely, was planning on having a Discord server when it's time for a really fast feedback loop with all of you. He also said there would be custom emotes, or at least replied to a question saying yes, there would be custom emotes, but he also had a little sarcastic, mischievous meme next to it. So that could very well mean probably not, or maybe something silly, or who knows. But basically, Cloud Imperium, or at least Sylvan from Cloud Imperium, is planning to get some VR integration into Star Citizen once Vulkan support has dropped and been optimized. And at the very least, Cloud Imperium will start talking about VR integration a lot more. Now, Sylvan did originally say that he would, in his spare time, get VR working once Vulkan's in, so let's see if that happens. It's awesome that there are some passionate devs that really want VR in game. I know VR is not everyone's cup of tea, but native VR integration would be cool for Star Citizen. I would much more expect to see it in Squadron 42 first, and then come to the Persistent Universe potentially later. We'll have to wait and see. CIG are going to be posting an FAQ on the IAE, as I said, later, but a Spectrum user, Raven King, put together a quick expected limited hull wave dates and times together. So the thread said basically that typically you have 3 waves of sail on each manufacturer day where there's a limited hull available, and basically, Wave 1 will be at 4 p.m. UTC, Wave 2 at midnight, and Wave 3 at 8 a.m. UTC. Now, this is to make sure that everyone around the world has sort of a chance to get a particular ship. Now, they sell ships in very limited numbers. They sell them typically on War Bond, so new money, fresh money, no store credit, and separately as store credit. So there's 2 separate stocks, one for store credit, one for War Bond. And day 1, the 18th of November, that will have the Drake Kraken and Kraken Privateer. On the 19th, you've got the 890 Jump. On the 20th, you'd have the Aegis Javelin, Idris, and the Idris K aftermarket kit as well. On the 23rd, you'd have the Pioneer. On the 25th, the Hull E, and the 26th, you'd have the Constellation Phoenix. Please note that that is an expected list and not perfectly accurate, but it looks pretty good to me. It is what I would expect, and for people that are preparing for the IAE, it's probably what you want to sort of hear. So check out the FAQ when Cloud Imperium release it. We will sort of have an updated video confirming everything. Once that FAQ is released, actually, we'll do a guide to the IAE and getting the most out of your money, or trying to best practices for getting the ships you want if you want to get a limited ship, things like that. For people curious if the best in show paints will be applied to the standard C8 Pisces as well as the C8X, CIG said, as the best in show paints for our Ship Showdown winners, Mercury, Carrack, Scorpius and C8X are variant specific. They will only work with the C8X, not the C8. So hopefully that's cleared up some bits for people. Now, there has been a lot of speculation in a recent sneak peek from a weekly newsletter. In this image, I'll zoom in, enhance to the background. There is on the far left a Ranger bike, potentially, or a mound of stones, or something else. Is this a Ranger bike? What is this blurry image here? So the Ranger is surprisingly anticipated by the community. I do like the idea of a wheeled bike in game. I would question the sort of fact that maybe we need a bit more of a physics rework for ground vehicles before we'd have the Ranger in game, but it's possible that it's ready or near ready, or maybe Cloud Imperium wanted to show something off, or it's also possible that it's just a pile of rocks in the background. But yeah, people want the Tumble Ranger in game for sure, and I'm looking forward to it. Beyond all that, we are also expecting Alpha 3.18 to go into deeper testing again soon, and maybe first wave PTU by the end of November. Cloud Imperium still plan to release 3.18 by the middle of December, early to mid-December is what they've said. I'm not expecting it to necessarily have all of the features that 3.18 is planned to have in its initial release, and we might see some of those features get pushed to 3.18.1.2. But what do you think? Are you looking forward to the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo? Are you going to be trying Star Citizen for the first time, getting some friends involved? Are you looking forward to try a particular ship or buy a particular ship? Are you excited for the new ship reveals? So whatever Drake have got in store, but also the Corsair being flyable. That's super, super sort of hype, the Corsair. I think a lot of people have desperately been wanting to get that in game, and it's here so soon. Do you think that Blur is a Tumbril Ranger? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Hello, I'm Winston Churchill, and I use NordVPN to defend the Internet Empire. We will fight the ants on the beaches. We shall fight on the internet. We shall fight the trackers and the malware. Whether we want to watch Netflix for another country or have greater accessibility to the internet, we will defend our island home. At any rate, that is what we're trying to do.
Thanks, Winston Churchill. What? What do you mean, Tin? That wasn't Winston Churchill? Point still stands. Go to nordvpn.com/boardgamer to get yourself discounted NordVPN, or use the links below. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For November, we're giving away a Crusader Spirit C1. It's a fantastic looking multi-role ship that can fit a vehicle in the back or a load of cargo, and it looks really cool. It's got loads of forward-facing weaponry and a tractor beam. As it's a concept ship though, the winner will have a Cutlass back in the meantime as a loaner. It comes with access to the game and lifetime insurance too, so bam! Even if you don't have Star Citizen stuff yet, you can get straight into the game with this. It's all you need. Just comment on any of my videos this month to be in for a chance of winning. A massive thank you to everyone that has used the join button under my videos to become a channel member, and my Patreons. You guys are awesome. It really does help the channel. Please consider becoming one of those lovely people too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.